So every now and again, I find myself in situations where I have to stick up for my friends, and I shouldn't say I have to, I'm doing this because I want to, because I think the cancellation that they're trying to put on Edwin Generation is just ridiculous. And, you know, let me be perfectly clear here, alright? Edwin is a guy who frequently goes on my live streams. I mean, I would consider him an internet friend of the show, definitely somebody that I've talked to behind the scenes before. Not a lot, I don't really talk to anybody a lot behind the scenes, but he is somebody that I have had private calls with and DM'd with every now and again. So, you know, let me put my biases up front first, but that shouldn't dissuade you people from the arguments I'm about to make. And really, I don't have much to say that's groundbreaking. I'm just here to say that the attempted cancellation of him is just downright ridiculous. It feels like people are really just reaching for something that's not there. So let me explain the drama. Essentially, Edwin went on the Onision TV documentary series, and, well, this series ended up using the girls, the victims of Onision's stories, without their consent. They had specifically said that their stories were not for TV and that they didn't want to be on the TV program. However, the producers at Discovery ended up using their stories anyway without their consent, simply just slightly blurring their pictures and names out, but still showing their tweets, which was against their wishes. And yeah, they're still allowed to tell their stories. I mean, it's a public narrative. They said their stories publicly before. Anyone's allowed to talk about them. However, these girls said that they'd rather this not have happened, and for a company that claims, you know, put the victims first, and even for a company that employs Chris Hansen, who has called me and my friends re-victimizers before, it's absolutely rich that he backstabs the same people he so claims he's trying to help. Edwin had initially turned down going on the documentary because he knew that they were going to use the girls' stories without their consent, but then he had vetted them and discovered that actually that wasn't going to happen, at least according to him at the time. So he then agreed to go on the interview and even give some criticism to Chris Hansen, something that was much needed in the program. What ended up happening, however, was his criticism towards Chris Hansen was really cut down and really edited, and of course, as we know now, the girls' stories were used without their permission, so a bunch of people got mad at Edwin for going on this sinking ship of a documentary. And look, I'll be the first to say it, alright? Edwin, probably a little bit too trusting of a sketchy corporation like Discovery ID, and going on a documentary that's made to make Chris Hansen look as good as possible is probably not a good idea. So is he a little bit gullible? Yeah, for sure, and you can have your gripes at them there, but ultimately, he got screwed over by Discovery ID because they told him one thing, and he was given another. He went on there to challenge Chris Hansen, but his challenges were cut short, and Chris Hansen even shit on him in the interview itself. So I can get why people are calling him a little bit gullible, maybe a little bit stupid or whatever. I can kind of understand that criticism, but I don't really care, because at the end of the day, he's the one that got screwed over. People are saying that he went on there to, you know, get subs and get money, and they're not able to substantiate their claims at all, because that's just, you know, they're pulling these arguments out of their ass. He went on there to get a bunch of subs, as if he was gonna get a ton of subs on a program that's locked behind a paywall. There's no way he was gonna go on there because he thought he was gonna get a big boost to his YouTube channel. That just doesn't make any sense. So to make things worse, before the documentary even took place and before Edwin was getting a lot of shit for that, a hacker logged into his Twitter account, kicked him out of the account, and screenshotted and recorded all of his DMs with everyone. Now, after he's getting a bunch of shit for the documentary, the hacker is slowly trickling these DMs out and apparently plans to leak these DMs over the next few months. You know, instead of just releasing them all completely just to pound Edwin in immediately, he's just gonna trickle it out so that Edwin has to sit there in torture while he waits every day for new DMs to leak, and people, you know, using these DMs to paint him as bad as possible. And you know, it'd be one thing if these DMs were incredibly incriminating, but so far, none of the DMs that have released have made him look bad at all. The hacker even threatened to leak Edwin's DMs with Nick Diorio, so Nick Diorio leaked his own DMs himself, and nothing in there was incriminating. The hackers know this, they're just doing this because they want to torture Edwin, they want to try to cancel him, they want to, you know, put this thought into people's heads that, ooh, the big bomb is coming, Edwin's about to get exposed for something horrible. And yeah, this clip might look bad if Edwin does end up getting exposed for something horrible, but if he was gonna get exposed, it would have happened now. Why is the hacker leaking all these piss poor DMs that don't even make him look bad at all? Why wouldn't they release the big juicy stuff first? It just doesn't make any sense. Then you got channels like this guy who have just been milking the shit out of these DM leaks, like every day going live for 1 hour, 2 hours, sometimes even 4 to 5 hours reading off these DMs. This guy is deity of YouTube. He's a bit of a lolcow, and we kind of goofed on him last year, and I forgot he even existed, but now he's back in the news because he's now the #1 channel exposing Edwin's DMs. If you really want to see Edwin's DMs, I guess this is the place to go. How pathetic. Look at all this shit, dude. Imagine dedicating, like, hours of your day to to reading another man's DMs, and it's not even, like, funny or damning or interesting at all. We'll take a look at a clip in just a second, but, you know, I want to point this out. Cordwit did the math here. From this screenshot alone, 21 hours have been dedicated to reading Edwin's DMs and giving analysis on it. Like, that's 21 hours in 1 week that you're dedicating to one man. Like, talk about living rent-free, dude. And like I said before, again, these DMs are not damning or interesting at all.
Eddie says, I've been doing a video on the Shiloh drama mess for my side channel, and I mentioned that she unfollowed you. Can I also say that she told you off, or would you rather not? Daddy Reps, can I please have permission to include your side of the story so I can spice things up? And
what is that? What is that interpretation? You're trying to make this out like it's like, oh, dude, we got him, Edwin, crawling on the floor, begging Ripsion for a clip for his video. He's just asking a dude if he wants to submit something in the video, or if he's allowed to talk about something in the story that involves other people. But then you have Spurgs like this guy reading these DMs out, making it out like it's a big deal, like, oh, we got him, boys. Look at him crawling to Repsion, begging for content. It's just like, anyone can make these wild interpretations that they really play with their imagination hard enough. What is the damning part of these DMs, alright? Why do I have to sit through 4 to 5 hours of this boring-ass shit to find, like, the supposedly awful things that Edwin has said behind the scenes? So far, Edwin's DMs getting leaked has been so uneventful that his cancellation has failed, so now the Spurgs are resorting to what they do best, painting him as the worst things in the book, according to today, you know? Things like being an anti-Semite and homophobia and racism, although those last two I haven't really seen, you know, get thrown at towards Edwin. Certainly, they're trying to label him as the #1 anti-Semite on YouTube. That's right, Edwin Generation's more like Edwin's base generation. Holy shit, bro. This guy, Edwin, is a super big base and red-pilled gamer. That's right. So apparently there's this picture of Edwin wearing a shirt, and the picture on the shirt is the last Jew in Vinnytsia. It's a photograph, according to Wikipedia. It's a photograph taken during the Holocaust in Ukraine showing a Jewish man near the town of Vinnytsia about to be shot dead by a member of, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name. Ultimately, this is a very grim picture right here, and you might be wondering, wow, dude, why does Edwin have a shirt of that, and why is he wearing it and posing for the camera with it? Well, apparently it's just a t-shirt for the popular band American Head Charge. Edwin went to a concert, picked up the t-shirt, and had it on for a picture, randomly. Like, this is what we're canceling him for. Buying merch of a band and wearing it. Like, oh boy, wow, we got him, dude. He's wearing edgy merch. Cancel him, dude. This is insane. There's no way. As if this picture here at all is harmful in any sort of way. Yeah, it's an edgy shirt, but it's not like Edwin was like, dude, you know what? I love the Holocaust, bro. Let me just get a picture of a Jew about to be shot, put it on my t-shirt, and pose for the camera, right? That's a little bit of a different context. A little bit of a different context than Edwin buying merch and wearing it. But of course, people like this retard will try to take the smallest things and make them huge. Look at how he words this. What? Why? How? Why on earth would you wear this shirt, man? Why? How in the hell can you celebrate the murder of millions of people based entirely on ethnicity, religion, etc.? Where did you get that at all? What do you mean he's celebrating the Holocaust? Are you fucking retarded? Of course he knows that's not what Edwin's actually doing. He's just being intentionally dishonest. It's bait. This, folks, right here, if you're not used to it, is called concern trolling. He's pretending to be scared. He's pretending like there's some deeper, eviler context to this when there really isn't. And then you have this moron, well-documented loser, Steve DeLeave here. Here's some more anti-Semitic fun times from our boy, Mr. Edwin Costa. Damn, let's take a look at these super edgy anti-Semitic statements. So here we have between 2014, where he's commenting on Brock Baker, saying, shout out to Hitler for the emo hairstyle. Okay, that's not too bad. It surely gets worse. Let's see the next one. Again, for 2014, Germany is so excited to add something positive to their history. The Holocaust is still fresh. Alright, okay, it's gotta get worse, right? Let's see the final example, alright? People are playing Pokemon at the Holocaust Museum in Auschwitz, and someone said, it's not like we came here to play, but gotta catch them all. these are your number one, examples of Edwin being anti-Semitic? On the scale of 1 to 10 of Holocaust jokes or Jew jokes or Hitler jokes, I mean, these are like a 3 in the level of offensive. I mean, come on now. Nobody, it's not like, I'm some super extreme guy, and what I consider to be edgy is way past what normal people consider to be edgy. I'm seeing everybody on Twitter react to these, and nobody's looking at these, jokes as, indicative of Edwin's, secret hatred for Jews, or his secret celebration of the Holocaust. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. These jokes are just, these are the most normie tier, Jew jokes I've ever heard in my life. These don't even come close to being offensive. I mean, I guess, maybe I'll bump it up to a 4. Maybe I'll be conservative and bump it up to a 4. But I mean, come on now. Like, who's looking at these jokes and, shocked and appalled and in horror? I can't believe Edwin said that, dude. And these are all, of course, from 6 to 4 years ago. So it's like, wow, you've really got a lot of examples, dude. If these are the worst you could pick from, stunning job, dude. Obviously, I'm convinced. You know what? You're right. Edwin does hate Jews. But it's funny because you have people like Steve DeLeve calling people out for, being anti-Semitic or whatever, when here he is, in a much more recent example, calling somebody a faggot. And here he is responding to it today. This tweet is dated today. Yep, I said that. Whoever I said that to deserved it. Wow, as if this guy is in any position to be judging people for offensive statements. Now, I don't care. You guys know my stance, right? I don't care about slurs. I don't care about cancel culture. I don't care about offensive shit. All of it is A-okay to me, alright? I'm the most extreme person on YouTube when it comes to that. That being said, you gotta love that these are the people so openly canceling other people when they have, much more obvious and recent skeletons in their closet. And, I mean, hell, he's celebrating it. He doesn't care. So why should I care about any of these jokes, Steve? Why should I give a fuck if you so obviously don't? And he's down here in the comments arguing like, oh, well, I was talking about anti-Semitism, not homophobia. Bullshit, dude. It's all the fucking same. And you know it. You're just being dishonest. All of these people are just being dishonest. And I hope that all of you people just see through their blatant lies and their blatant concern trolling, alright? This attempt to cancel Edwin is just bullshit. I mean, these people have nothing, alright? They thought they got him on the Anisian documentary, and people were sympathetic and understood Edwin's perspective. They thought they got him with the DMs, and so far the DMs have been boring as shit and just entirely uneventful. And nobody wants to sit through 5 hours of deity of YouTube, slumber his way through these DMs as if it's, as if it's content, alright? So, the DMs failed, the TV show narrative failed, so now they have to resort to their last possible, if it ain't broke, don't fix it strategy, and, show all his edgy jokes, and even these jokes, like, nobody is buying this shit. Nobody is reading these and coming off with the unironic perspective that Edwin is some sort of hidden closet Nazi. It's absolutely ridiculous and it's falling apart, and these people are coping and they're molding because they're trying to character assassinate him so hard, but they're just failing in the process. So, to all these people, I have to say, you lost, alright? People like Edwin, they like people like me and Bo Blacks and Nick because we tell the truth and we're honest about, what we believe in and what we find funny or not. You guys try to throw this cancel culture bullshit. We've been through it before, alright? And it's just not gonna work. So, you can sit there and try and mold harder and stream to your 10 viewers, but it's just never gonna work. It's funny to see you try, it's funny to see these people, throw together these threads as if it does something, but ultimately, it just doesn't work. So, I'm making this. Edwin didn't ask for me to make this video. I'm making it entirely because I wanted to. I don't like seeing my friends get treated like this, and I think the cancellation on Edwin so far has just been entirely mishandled. And, I thought I'd take a moment just to poke some holes in their bullshit arguments. There goes my Discord. That wasn't your Discord. My name's AllYFC. I'm gonna get out of here. I'll talk to you guys later, everyone.